The sound of waves crashing fills the air, sunlight sparkles over the ocean, and laughter echoes on the shore. Summer has just begun, but this one feels different, more alive, more unforgettable. It's the kind of summer where everything you thought you knew about love, friendship, and yourself suddenly begins to change. And in the middle of it all is one girl, standing at the edge of a season that will shape her forever. The screen opens to the endless stretch of a golden beach, where the tide washes gently across the sand, leaving shimmering trails of light. The camera follows a slow pan, capturing the brightness of the day, the kind of day that promises freedom and adventure. A group of friends run past, barefoot and laughing, chasing after each other as if time itself doesn't exist. Their shadows dance across the sand, long and carefree, like the beginning of a memory that will be remembered for years to come. In the distance, a house stands tall against the sunlight, its windows glowing warm with the hint of stories waiting to be told. The air is filled with the sound of seagulls and the faint music of a radio playing somewhere nearby. The scene lingers on the house as if it holds secrets inside, secrets that will slowly unravel through the course of this summer. The focus shifts to her, quiet at first, almost hesitant, as though she's not sure if she belongs in this picture-perfect moment. She steps into view, the warm wind brushing her hair back, her gaze caught between excitement and nervousness. There's something about her presence, something unspoken, that makes it clear this is not just any summer. It's her summer, the one that will leave a mark on her heart. The scene cuts to the water, where sunlight flickers across the surface, broken only by the splash of two figures diving in. The screen captures their energy, their laughter, the way their movements pull the camera's attention. They emerge from the water, playful yet strikingly different. One carries a spark of joy in his smile, a lightheartedness that makes everyone around him feel alive. The other has a quiet intensity, his eyes deep with something that feels harder to reach, something hidden beneath the surface. The two boys stand there, side by side, but even without words, the air between them holds a tension that will only grow stronger. She watches them both, her heart caught between the brightness of one and the mystery of the other. Her world suddenly feels less certain, less simple than it was before. This summer isn't just about sun and laughter, it's about choices, about discovering the parts of herself she never knew were waiting. The camera lingers on her face, reflecting the ocean's light, her eyes filled with questions she doesn't yet know how to answer. In that moment, the story begins not with certainty, but with the promise of change. The warm air of summer wraps itself around everything, carrying the smell of salt, sunscreen, and freshly cut grass. Nights stretch longer here, glowing under strings of soft lights that sway gently in the breeze. The camera moves into the rhythm of these moments, bonfires sparking against the dark sky, fireworks bursting in slow motion above the waves, and voices echoing in laughter, in whispers, in the secret kind of conversations that only happen when the world feels safe and endless. Among this beauty, her presence becomes sharper. She is no longer simply a quiet figure watching from the sidelines. The summer begins to pull her forward, demanding that she take her place in the story. There is a glow in her smile now, small at first but growing with each passing day, as if she herself is learning to shine in ways she never knew she could. This glow does not go unnoticed. Around her, the two brothers linger closer, their worlds slowly bending toward hers. One of them makes everything feel light. He brings her into circles of laughter, tossing her a soda can during late-night drives, teasing her in the kind of playful way that feels both frustrating and irresistible. His energy is infectious like the sunlight itself, impossible to ignore. His charm carries her into moments where she feels young and reckless, where she forgets her own doubts and simply exists in the joy of now. Around him, every second feels like an adventure, unpredictable but thrilling. The other brother is different. His presence is quieter, yet heavier, as if every look carries a weight that lingers long after he's gone. He doesn't need to speak much. His silences are loud enough. There is something in the way he watches her, in the way his gaze holds her steady, that unsettles and comforts at the same time. He seems to know more than he says, seems to carry shadows that stretch beyond the brightness of summer. With him, there is depth, there are questions, there are unspoken truths that she both longs to uncover and fears to face. The screen shifts between them, showing the subtle push and pull, the invisible thread that tugs at her from both sides. A brush of hands at the bonfire, a stolen glance in the reflection of a car window, a laugh that feels like home, followed by a silence that feels like a secret. Slowly, the air becomes heavier with possibility, with a choice that is not yet spoken but already building toward something inevitable. Even the setting itself reflects this change. The soft, carefree haze of the first days of summer sharpens into something richer, more intense. The nights grow louder with music, the mornings quieter with unspoken tension. Every corner of the beach house begins to feel alive, the staircase that holds whispered words, the porch that carries laughter into the night, the ocean that waits to swallow secrets beneath its surface. For her, the season becomes less about long days and more about transformation. Each moment becomes a step toward the person she is meant to be. Her reflection in the window looks different, now braver, more aware, touched by both love and uncertainty. She begins to feel the weight of choice pressing gently against her chest, the realization that this summer is not simply happening around her. It is shaping her, carving her into someone new. As the music swells, the images quicken, the two brothers standing apart, her figure caught between them, the ocean crashing with a stormy undertone that wasn't there before. Firelight flickers across her face, revealing both joy and fear in equal measure. And in that flicker, the story deepens. The carefree sparkle of the beginning fades into something heavier, something that carries both the thrill of love and the shadow of heartbreak. Summer, after all, is not endless. It burns brightly, but it also slips away. And she knows, deep down, that every step she takes from here will lead her closer to a choice that cannot be undone. The glow of summer nights begins to shift. Like the slow turn of the tide, what was once carefree laughter now carries an edge, a hesitation between words. The air grows heavier, weighted with feelings that can no longer stay hidden. The rhythm of the story changes here. It is no longer about discovering the joy of the season, it is about confronting the truth that waits. Beneath the surface, the screen captures small details. A hand brushing away a tear at the edge of a midnight bonfire, the slam of a door echoing down the hallway of the beach house. The sudden silence after laughter fades too quickly. The summer that felt endless now reveals cracks. And through those cracks come secrets, confessions, and the first taste of heartbreak. She stands between the brothers, pulled in opposite directions. One makes her feel alive, but perhaps too alive. His light sometimes burns too brightly, leaving her unsure if she can hold on. The other feels steady, like the tide itself. Yet there is a storm beneath his calm that threatens to pull her deeper than she is ready to go. Both hold her heart in different ways, and the weight of that truth presses harder each day. The camera moves through moments of conflict, a fight by the water, voices raised under the roar of crashing waves, a glimpse of her walking away, her shoulders heavy with the decision she cannot yet make, a close-up of the brothers, their eyes locking with a tension that has been building since the very beginning. The world around them seems to pulse with the gravity of what's at stake, not just love, but loyalty, family, and the fragile threads of trust. But this is not only about romance, it is about her transformation, her becoming. For the first time, she sees herself not just as the girl caught between two choices, but as someone who must choose for herself, someone who is learning that love is not just about happiness but about pain, growth, and courage. The mirror she once gazed into with curiosity now reflects someone stronger, someone more certain. Even as her heart races with doubt, the imagery intensifies, waves crashing violently against rocks, fireworks exploding not in wonder but in chaos, rain pouring down on the glowing lights of the beach house. Each frame feels faster, sharper, pulling the audience deeper into the storm of emotion. Her voice breaks in silence, tears running down her face, laughter turned into something bittersweet. The summer that once felt like freedom now feels like a battlefield of the heart. And yet, in the middle of all this intensity, moments of beauty remain. A quiet dance beneath the stars, where her eyes close as if to freeze time. A hand slipping into hers, hesitant but sincere. A sunrise breaking through the storm clouds, hinting that even after chaos, light can return. These flashes remind her on dust that summer is fleeting, but its lessons remain forever. The brothers' bond begins to crack under the weight of unspoken feelings. They are no longer simply two figures on opposite sides of her story. They are now bound to their own choices, their own battles between love and loyalty. The pain in their eyes mirrors hers, and the silence between them grows louder than words. The music swells, deeper and more urgent, pounding like a heartbeat. The pace quickens, faces flash across the screen. Tears, shouts, laughter that feels like it could break at any second. Every frame demands the audience to hold their breath, waiting for what comes next. The once bright summer is now darker, more complicated, more real. Because this is not just a story about first love, it is a story about change, about stepping into who you are meant to be. And in this section, as the storm of emotions builds, it becomes clear. She cannot leave this summer the same as she was when it began. The screen fades into black for a beat, just long enough to make the silence feel sharp. Then a single image returns, her standing at the water's edge. The waves crashing around her, her eyes steady, her heart heavy. The choice has not yet been made, but the weight of it fills the air, leaving the audience breathless, waiting. The storm of summer does not last forever. Slowly, the chaos quiets, leaving behind the echo of everything that was said, everything that was felt, everything that cannot be undone. The laughter that once filled the nights now feels softer, touched with a weight it didn't have before. The beach house, once alive with endless energy, stands quieter in the golden haze of late August. Its walls holding memories like shadows that will never fade. She stands different now. The girl who arrived at the beginning of summer, hesitant and uncertain, is gone. In her place is someone who has been changed by love, by pain, by the choices she was forced to face. Her eyes carry the depth of someone who has both broken and been healed. She has learned that summer is not just a season of light, it is a season of growth, where endings and beginnings blur together. The screen captures her walking along the shoreline, the waves brushing against her feet. Each step feels heavier, but also more certain. The ocean reflects the fading light of day, a reminder that everything is temporary, and that is what makes it beautiful. Her thoughts drift to the moments that shaped her, the touch of a hand in the dark, the sound of laughter that made her feel alive, the silence that broke her heart. These memories are no longer just fleeting sparks, they are a part of her, stitched into who she is becoming. The brothers remain in the frame, but now their presence feels altered. No longer symbols of carefree summer fun, they stand as figures of choice, of consequence. One carries regret in his eyes, the weight of what he could not say until it was too late. The other stands closer, yet even his certainty trembles in the face of everything that has happened. The bond between them, once unbreakable, now lies strained, frayed by the tension of love and loyalty. Their story, too, has been changed by this summer. The music softens, a haunting melody that swells with both sorrow and hope. The imagery slows, her eyes closing as she tilts her head toward the sun, her hand brushing against the doorframe of the beach house one last time. The flicker of firelight dancing across faces that know everything is about to end. Each shot carries the feeling of goodbye, of a chapter closing, but also the whisper of something still to come. And then, just when the air feels still, the screen bursts into flashes of unanswered moments. A sudden kiss that feels stolen, a tearful glance exchanged across the bonfire, a voice calling her name in the distance. These glimpses arrive too quickly to fully grasp, like memories slipping through fingers, but their power lingers. The story is not finished, not yet. The summer may be ending, but the choices made here will follow her far beyond the season. The pace quickens again, building toward the final beat. The screen flashes between her and the two brothers, the love, the heartbreak, the transformation that ties them all together. A storm cloud breaking open to reveal sunlight, a final laugh tinged with sadness, a door closing, a wave crashing, and finally, her face in close-up, steady and strong. Her eyes filled with the knowledge that nothing will ever be the same again. The music cuts to silence. The screen turns black for the briefest moment. Then, in bold letters, the title appears, "The Summer I Turned Pretty." Underneath it, the words, "The Story of Love, Loss, and Becoming." But before the screen fully fades, one last image lingers, a look exchanged between her and one of the brothers, eyes locked, emotions unspoken. The audience cannot tell what it means, cannot know which way her heart will turn. The silence stretches, deliberate and sharp, leaving the question hanging, and then fade to black. The summer is over, but its memory is eternal.